What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're taking a look at Outriders running on Stadia and xCloud. xCloud has finally rolled out their custom Series X blades. Now, they're still working on this tech. It's still in beta. This is not the final product. However, it's open for everyone, and it's getting close enough that I think it's important to start adding it to the channel a lot more, especially since I do so much Xbox stuff here. So we're definitely going to be doing that. xCloud is going to become a big part of things. More comparisons, more videos, and whatever I can get done, right? Whatever I can fit in. So both of these are 1080p 60. I wanted to do that to start as a baseline. I'm fully aware of Stadia's 4K 60. Most games are not that, but the stream is 4K 60. We will do those videos later. We will show the best versus the best and that kind of thing, and do different 4K versus 1080 comparisons. I've done them in the past. GFN 1080p versus Stadia's 4K and stuff like that. We'll do that. But to start here with a baseline of things, 1080p 60 for the streams, for everything here, Stadia, and for xCloud. This is a pretty interesting comparison, because Outriders is still very badly optimized for Stadia, but it's really well optimized for Series X. So this is a comparison I was excited to get into. So let's go ahead and jump in. I want to talk about things a little bit deeper. We're going to take a look at some stuff, and then I have some more scenes for you guys that you'll be able to check out. All right, Stadia and xCloud, Outriders, let's jump in a little bit deeper. Alright guys, so the first thing is the settings. We can turn motion blur off on the Series X xCloud, but we can't turn it off on Stadia, and that's always been a gripe of mine. We are in high frame rate mode, performance mode. You can't change that in 1080p. That's what it runs. So they're both running 1080p 60. Puts us on a good even level. When it comes to latency, I'm surprised I'm even comparing xCloud to Stadia now at this point. Since the upgrades, it has gotten so good. I personally, in most games, haven't been able to tell the difference in the latency. Not every game, and it certainly has a little bit to go on the bit rate and things like that, but man, I was really impressed at how good things are getting here, and no problems with latency or playing this game on either platform other than it being so stuttery still over on Stadia right now. Launching into the game from the browser, launch these at the same time. I've also got loading from the game for you to check out, but Stadia will win this. They will get you into the stream faster than the xCloud does right now. But when it comes to in-game loading, which I've tested a lot so far, the Series X, the xCloud, will win every time when it comes to in-game loading. 20 seconds into game for xCloud, 15.3 for Stadia there. So you'll get into game faster, but once you're in the game, Xbox will load quicker. Let's go ahead and take a look over here as we load in from the menu. Of course, the first 10 seconds is the countdown, but I need to do it this way for proper accuracy. And once we go into that fade out screen, we'll be loading in. And again, like I said, this is where the trade-off of Stadia getting you in 5 seconds or so quicker into the stream. Series X loads the game quicker and takes up that time when you get in here. 20.9 to load right into the game. Stadia is 25.2. So you see the trade-off. You can see what's going on there. Get into the console quicker from the browser, but Series X will win just about every time when loading inside of a game. So let's move into some graphics and stuff here. So we know this version is really badly optimized for Stadia. It still stutters like crazy. We're going to take a look at that as well. But also lighting, shadows, texture quality. It's another reason why I wanted both of these at 1080p, so you can see the importance of higher texture qualities. Look at the writing, look at his arm, look at the rocks out in the distance, the cracks, the details, the lighting or ambient occlusion or whatever's going on here. Everything is just cleaner on the Xbox side due to everything running at a higher fidelity than it is over on Stadia, and it runs much smoother as well, which I'll show you. Here's another great scene right here in the city. Look at the lighting difference out in the distance, the cables, the rocks, everything is just higher fidelity here as far as this version goes on xCloud. We'll zoom in a little bit, and you can see a little bit better there. Much better on the lighting and seeing all that detail out there. You can even see all of those wires and ropes on the Stadia side out there. Now in cutscenes, xCloud runs 60 FPS because the Series X runs 60 FPS. Keeps it cleaner. Also, no motion blur. Everything just in general looks much nicer, much cleaner when you're playing here. Jumping over to another scene. Right here you can see, again, if you look at the rocks out there in the distance to the right, the tire, the grass, any of that stuff, you can see just a sharper, higher detail due to those textures, lighting, and shadows. Now right here is interesting. The only reason I really put this here, because I've already showed you so many differences already. Look at the netting out there at the top. It should be rendered in, and this is part of the trouble with this game, and you're going to see it popping in and out and why it stutters. See that stutter? Now watch, I'm going to zoom in. On the xCloud side, no problem. On the Stadia side, you'll see it stutter and render that netting in and out. That's an issue, and that's part of the problems that this game is having. You saw that stutter when it rendered in and out, and this happens throughout the game. the developers really dropped the ball when it came to getting this version working properly. Now on Xbox Cloud, this is running at Custom Series X, and we know that runs a pretty clean 60, and you won't see a stutter. The only stutter you would see is in the stream itself. Now on Stadia, you wouldn't see a stutter stream because they have great streaming, but the game itself is still a stuttering mess for everybody that I know that plays it. I mean, if it's not that way for you, that's freaking awesome. For some people, it may be working smoother, but for most, the experience just isn't there. It's very stuttery on Stadia, and that's part Stadia's fault for quality control, and it's a big part the developer's fault for not fixing it. On PC, day one, I had these same stutters. There was a DirectX bug that was plaguing some PC people just like me. They fixed it within days, but on Stadia, we still have the stutter. On xCloud, we have no issues. Again, just a little spot right here. I'm about to leave you guys with it. I want you to be able to check out the rest of the gameplay that we've got here. I thought this was an interesting comparison showing the importance of texture quality and lighting and shadows and all that. No motion blur here, so you can see a nice clear picture. For me personally, I like that a lot better. But I've got some more scenes for you guys to check out if you want to here, and some combat, so you can see that happening. And yeah, nice little comparison here of Outriders on Stadia and xCloud. xCloud's running the superior version. Stadia does tend to have a cleaner stream when it comes to bitrate, but they got to fix the stuttering in this game, aside from the graphic fidelity, which is still fine on both platforms. We need to see those stutters cleared out for Stadia. All right, guys, thanks a lot for coming to check out the video. As always, I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.
Whoa, they got eyes on some kind of hyena cow things.
Yeah, I'm seeing them over here too. A whole herd of them.
Are we sure all the wildlife around here are vegetarian?
Herbivores? We call them herbivores?
Whatever. They look pretty ugly, you ask me.
No, they're astonishing. I bet they can be domesticated for farming.
I bet they make some fat, juicy steaks.
Maxwell's lost his goddamn mind!
I'll take care of the wounded. Just hold them back.
Jacob, cover me. I'm going after Maxwell.
I got you. Outriders, stand down! That's an order!
Sure. Right after you call out the goddamn goons.
Sergeant Major, the entire colonization is threatened.
Maxwell set up a blockade. He's gonna burn everything down.
Why?
So he can tell the story his way. How the Outriders fucked everything up. He needs to die.
Outrider, wait. Maxwell is the only one who can call off the landing. You need to get him to see reason.